Earthquakes leave at least 188 people dead. Search and rescue continue. Armando Nori fled his Caracas apartment.
2 hours later, I came back, to grab some things like clothes and water, and I saw the whole thing. It was destroyed inside.
A federal judge has blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would mandate how states would run their mail-in voting operations. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians.
This was a decision over a policy from the first Trump administration to shut the door at ports of entry across the southern border to prevent migrants from even stepping foot on U.S. soil.
ABC's Devin Dwyer. Iran attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone today, says a U.S. official. This is ABC News. Iran update from ABC News contributor and expert on Middle East policy, Javed Ali.
Will Israel withdraw fully from southern Lebanon, even if that's what the U.S. wants? Unclear, because Hezbollah is still attacking Israel as well, and Israel has a right to defend itself. But we have heard time and time again the Iranians say they are going to demand a full Israeli withdrawal from southern Lebanon because Hezbollah is their most important partner in the region.
Google and the TSA teaming up to allow passengers to get screened without having to carry a physical ID. It's called touchless ID. It's already offered via TSA PreCheck on certain airlines. ABC's Sam Sweeney.
Now with this partnership between TSA and Google, if you have a Google Wallet on an Android phone, you can load your passport into it and then connect it to your airline account. And when you show up to the airport, all you have to do is walk up to the camera, have your picture taken, and you'll be cleared to get on your flight.
Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Coming up, Governor Bob Ferguson talking taxes. That's after Nate Connors at the Real Time Traffic Desk.
Yes, sir. This one brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Everett Marysville, up to 15 minutes. North 5, no big surprises, but we're crowded from 526 up to 529. And then eastbound 526, we're jammed up from the Boeing plant to I-5. Now, getting to Everett from Bellevue into Seattle, you're doing fine. No major backups on I-5 or 405 until you get to that Linwood interchange, and then you're slow up past 164th. South 5 into Seattle, heavy from Northgate to I-90. North 5, heavy from Albro in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a half-hour trip. Typical backups between Bellevue and Renton. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute drive. Your backup starts at the Boeing Access Road. And in Auburn, westbound 18, we're bumper to bumper from 167 over to I-5. And eastbound 18 is heavy from Weyerhaeuser all the way over to C Street. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has given the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows, a free patio door, plus 12 months free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson says his upcoming budget proposal will not include new taxes. He's telling lawmakers he expects them to follow suit.
Does that mean cuts? Well, of course. Yeah, we're gonna be facing in all likelihood a multi-billion-dollar shortfall. So all we have to do is do that in a way that's thoughtful.
But he stopped short of promising to veto any tax increase that might come across his desk. Ferguson saying spending must match revenue forecasts to protect the state's AAA bond rating. A pregnant woman is recovering after a dog attack in Tacoma. Police say it happened this morning, not far from Tacoma Mall, when 2 loose dogs, an American Pit Bull Terrier and an American Bully, went after the small dog she was carrying.
And the 2 dogs kind of target locked on the small dog, knocked the pregnant female to the ground. She was bit a couple times.
Shelby Boyd with Tacoma Police there. She says the woman was taken to the hospital. At last check was in stable condition. Tacoma Animal Control impounded the dogs. The woman's small dog ran off and has not been found. 15-year-old boy charged in the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old girl in Kent pleads not guilty to all charges in 2 separate cases. He does face a murder charge after police say he fired multiple shots at a group of teens, killing that girl. In another case, he faces 2 gun charges, including unlawful possession of a machine gun. Prosecutors say they want him tried as an adult. A local high school is welcoming home one of Seattle basketball's biggest names.
Brandon Roy is once again the head coach of Garfield High's boys basketball team. He was fired last year amid allegations of a recruiting violation, but an investigation found no wrongdoing. Roy says he told his kids that they'd have to be patient while that process played out.
People, said a lot of, smear my name in a lot of ways where I just said, hey, look, this is an experience that you guys can learn from and grow from.
Roy, a former NBA All-Star and Garfield High grad, led his alma mater to 3 state titles as head coach. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
So your forecast now, some pockets of rain already moving through. Cloudy skies for today, and again tomorrow to be rainy and breezy for Friday. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is a thing of great wonder and mystery, quivering with complexity, strength, and resilience.
Nicholas Cage.
However, also buried within a delicate femininity, and dare I even say, naughtiness.
Remember we used to start the show with that, and then Sherry would get all mad and talk about how much she hated Nicolas Cage.
Oh, she hated Nick Cage, yeah. Why?
I don't know. Just always, I bring her up, you always like to tease her, like every 3 minutes. And I would just mention his name just randomly in anything, and then she would just go off. And I think it was she menopausal or something? Like
Okay, you can't do that.
What do you mean?
You can't do
That's a medical condition.
You can't just assume somebody's.
I mean that in the best way. Isn't our governor or somebody going to do something about menopause?
Yeah, but
Too late for Sherry.
this is where you say, just kidding.
I'm
HR.
kidding. She doesn't even work here anymore. I was texting her the other day. I sent her some stuff. Man, she is the unscripted Sherry.
Uncensored.
I love her. Oh, my God. Yeah. She's so funny. Yeah. Well, you want to do a radio show?
Sure.
Let's do a radio show. There we go. That's how most of the shows here at KIRO start. Munkers Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. Big birthday coming up. Everybody gonna get ready. Go crazy on the big 4th of July. Big plans.
Yes.
Don't feel it like the fella back in 1976. So you look at 1976. So we came out of Watergate. Right? We came out of Vietnam. We also came out of the inflation was bad. But it wasn't getting too bad yet. We'd beaten back the oil crisis, and Americans needed something to celebrate. We had the Concorde took off from New York. That was big. Nice. Oh, we got the Seahawks in Washington, and Tampa Bay got a football team. Generally, there was a sense of reset for the American people heading into 1976 and the bicentennial. Local towns were painting fire hydrants like colonial soldiers. Yeah. There were flags everywhere. Everybody was getting ready, even though there were still some problems, but you didn't have left and right as strong. You still had members of Congress and Senate going out to lunch and dinner. They had a thing called a ice cream social. It would normally happen around the hottest time of the year in Washington D.C. All the senators and congressmen and congresswomen would wear either seersucker suits or something very light, and they would all have ice cream together, because it was very hot and humid at that time. And there was general civility between the people that were there in Washington making laws. You could watch various individuals on David Brinkley's show, and during the commercial break, as the cameras pulled out to a wide shot, you could see them laughing and hitting each other's knee. In fact, little name dropping here, when I lived in Virginia, one time I got on the train, I sat next to Joe Biden, who was a senator at the time, and I said to him, Senator, why is it that you guys can argue about something while you're on the air, but I see as their cameras going away, you guys are laughing? And he said, yeah, listen, I'm buddies with a lot of these people. We're friends with these people. And, I might disagree, and, we'll battle it out. But, in the end, when the bell rings, we shake hands and we go back to neutral corners. But later on, we're here trying to do the people's work. That's what Senator Biden said to me. things changed dramatically in the United States. And when I asked Slade Gordon, the late, great Slade Gordon, why, he said redistricting was the real problem. Because when you win with 70% of the votes, you don't care about the other 30. You don't give a rip what that other guy or that other gal is saying. When you dominate and don't have to necessarily represent the other side is nothing more than annoyance. So you have just diametrically opposed forces meeting in one place, representing a hybrid majority or a supercharged majority. And that's why you don't see any compromise. And that's why you see these death matches that occur. And there's not an inch given on either side. And the use of profanity and the disrespect publicly shown. Now, of course, that goes way back. They called John Adams a hermaphrodite and a midget. They were often accusing each other of being unfaithful and having various, sexually transmitted diseases. But it wasn't often spoken there on the floor or in the Senate. Things were pretty nasty now, really nasty. So I don't know how much of the celebration will take place for the fact that most people, about 57% are saying they are somewhat patriotic, but then a great number of people also see the flag as a symbol of oppression. And they don't like what America stands for. And they point to the founding of this great country, and they mock and despise the founding fathers. So I thought I'd do a little bit of research for you and share with you what I found. And I'll have it for you after a sip of coffee, a brief... My mouth is kind of...
You know what else people were doing during the bicentennial?
Getting it on.
You want to tell the story of your dad?
Yes, very quickly. That I took my dad out to dinner at Metropolitan Grill one night, and he liked his vodka martinis, and by his third one, he's like, hey Michael, one of their shots is worth two of mine, so I'm pacing myself, which I never understood. Like, what is he just downing an entire bottle while everybody else is at half a bottle? Anyway, he's three sheets in. And I said to him, hey, well, any regrets, anything you look back on and you just, as your life is kind of coming to the end here, anything you wish you'd done differently, or just what's something you think back to, like, God, I made a terrible mistake or I should have done that. I don't have any regrets. It's like Frank Sinatra. I mean, no regrets. I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention, right? Is that the way it goes? I'm like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't have any. I mean, And I just said, okay. So by the fourth, I asked him again, because I noticed he was a little bit more emotional, this Irish Catholic stuff. And that's when he said to me, yeah, all right, there was one, it's not a regret, but, it was at one time, Mrs. Wall, the lady lived up the hill, up across the street with the driveway, the black tree. You guys rode your bikes up and down. I said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I know her, yeah. Yeah, anyway, she's a pretty gal. I said, yeah, I was 5. I don't really remember. I just remember she was tall. Yeah, she had long legs. Anyway, she wanted to, he starts rubbing his face. Yeah, she wanted to have a menage a trois with your mother and I. Yeah. I was like, oh, my God. And I didn't want to laugh at him. I just went, really? Really?
A what?
Joe, it's French. It's menage a trois. All right? It's French. Yeah, it means it's a 3, 3 in 1. What you get, it's a math thing. Anyway, we didn't, I didn't do it. We had, your mother was like, no, I wasn't going to do that. I said, God, wow, that's crazy. And he said, yeah, hey, it was the bicentennial. People were doing nutty things. From that time on, I always felt like, oh, my God, who knew what was going on? The bicentennial minute.
You cannot say the word bicentennial now without me thinking of
bicentennial
your dad
minute.
And his menage a trois.
1 minute with a Mrs. whatever her name was across the street. I found there's a book, and I'm not getting it yet. But I thought it was really interesting. This guy wrote a book, and isn't it amazing? Guy wrote a book. That's the end of the story.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna read a couple of things, and you tell me who you think said this. You ready? This is talking about the democracy in America and the state of America. Political parties would prioritize group loyalty over national unity, and that the republic, that America would end.
Who said that?
You think it was said recently?
No.
You're right. That was Washington. Here's George Washington again. Rise in intense political partisanship and the fracturing of the spirit of the document and the country will tear it apart shortly. Washington didn't think it would last very long. Alexander Hamilton grew frustrated because he felt the federal government was too weak. I mean, that wasn't a problem. Missed out on that one, Hamilton. John Adams fell into deep despair and believed that the American public lacked basic civil virtue and moral restraint necessary for self-government, and he didn't think it would last that long. Sometimes maybe 20 years or 30 years. No one thought it would last. Only Madison thought that this thing might be able to keep going.
Just a ragtag group of rebels.
No, they were just like, hey, we think it's a revolutionary idea that no one has ever thought of this before, that the power will not come from God to king and then from king to noble, from noble down to servant or serf or whatever. No one had ever thought about, oh, you know what? How about this? How about you alone have everything given to you by God? You are top. You as an individual. You're at the top of the list. Everybody else is equal to you because everybody starts with the same inalienable rights. Because Thomas Jefferson said he felt that the final years were terrifying and a growing sectional division would pull apart the country. It was only Madison that kept his faith. He lasted longer than anybody else. I think he lived till 1836 or something like that. But even when they signed the thing, they were all like, yeah, good luck with this. There's no way this is going to last. It's a great idea. It's a great idea, but it's not going to last. And when people look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Founding Fathers, oh, yeah, well, Jefferson had slaves. Yeah, but think about after he wrote that, he writes it, and then everybody agrees and puts their name on it, and then they're sitting there going, golly, am I living up to the standards by which I would hope everybody else? No, but it became the standard by which everyone was then judged, which makes it so remarkable. So if you are not, if you're trying to oppress somebody or you're not treating somebody equally, it's held to that standard. This had never been done before, never. Now, the Magna Carta back in the 1210 or something, was the idea that it started feeling with the idea that God and man connected and the king doesn't have all the power. And then you could get they brought the Romans in with the idea of Senate, and they brought in John Locke with the idea of freedom of the individual and the sacredness of the individual. So they took all these different philosophies together and put it all into this one document. And even after they signed it, they're like, yeah, that's not going to go very far. Even they knew that the problems would be there. But the standard is there that no one else has power over you. No one. You have rights. The government just doesn't tell you what to do. You have the rights, and it protects your rights. But we got to look out, because the bigger the government gets and the more it wants to take rights away from individuals, or the bigger fractions get that then start to decide that one group is more equal to another, or one group is guilty of something that some other group is deciding that they need the government to come in and do that to them. I mean, it is tenuous at best. And I thought it was interesting to see in the book, as they basically walk you through the fact that even the Founding Fathers thought this is even too much for anyone else to be able to do. Fears of the setting sun, the disillusionment of the American Founding Fathers, that even they thought that this thing would not last. I fear that they're somewhat prescient in their words. It does feel so fragile.
It does. And I think both sides are equally guilty of abusing the Constitution and, self-dealing and all these things.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a precarious place where we need to just we need to rope that in and kind of get back to what we were founded on and make sure that those constitutional rights are protected. But you know what gives me hope? And you know me, I've been in the hole for months now.
That's right. Ever since since the Epstein files.
Yes. That's definitely what started. The World Cup.
Is that right?
Actually giving me hope for just kind of the temperature of the country. The way people showed out for America in Seattle on last Friday was inspiring. And I'm being 100% genuine. It was really cool to see. And the people chanting USA, it was like, okay, wait a minute. We're not as fractured. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We are not as fractured as a country, as a people, as Americans, that the media just loves to just shove down our throats. You know, there's big problems and there's big problems that need solving, and there's certainly a ton we don't agree on. But you and I don't agree on that much stuff, and we still love working together and we love each other, and you know, that's the case with a lot of people. You know, it's not this you know, knives at the throat situation.
Right, because you and I, the politics is not first.
No, and I don't think it is for most people.
For the people that are in the business of it, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you see the election that occurred in New York, now New York City is not the bellwether, but it does speak to the fact that the 3 or 4 socialists / communists, and even our mayor has told me, and she said in an interview with KUOW, she's a Marxist. Well, Marxism, there's no place that the founding fathers would have anything to do with Marxism, which is basically the idea that everyone's needs will be taken care of for them by the government.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you go back and we look at what was happening in the 15th and 16th and 17th century in Europe, where, you know, there's the king, and don't worry, you just plant all the grain and you sell it, or we let you keep part of it and we'll sell the rest. And whenever there's somebody coming in here to hurt you, you can come to the castle and we'll bring up the drawbridge and we'll protect you from all of that sort of stuff. But you just get back out in the field and you keep going. And don't worry, we'll give you protection. And what we're going to ask in return is that you continue to grow these crops or make these pots and pans and things, and then we'll control which way things go, right? Or we'll tax so much of what you're making. I mean, and don't worry, we'll provide you with, you know, some goods, and your basic needs will be met. Well, that's Marxism. I mean, Karl Marx, there'd be no seat at the table for him in Philadelphia,
right?
Nowhere, because it's the antithesis of the idea of inalienable rights. Even Marx said there is no God. So, but this is based upon the idea there's a power greater than man, and the inalienable rights come to you. But Marxism doesn't see that, and socialism certainly doesn't see that. It sees we're all equal, everybody's fine. We just need one controlling force to make sure that everybody gets everything that they need.
I think a lot of that is the result of this pendulum swinging back and forth, and I think it's been happening at least in my lifetime since, you know, maybe Bush and then Obama, clearly, and then it becomes this war of, like, you know, how far to each side can we get? And I think that's the problem. And I think you know, we have to keep our eye on the ball, but we also have to, like, be willing to come to the table and talk to each other and realize that we're not as diametrically opposed as we think, so we don't have to arm ourselves with, you know, ideology.
I think there's a split. The split occurred. There's a great book called Anatomy of Peace. I read it occasionally, probably once a year. I try to reread the thing, and it's there is, I don't know, at the table, where does the capitalist and the socialist find some common ground?
I think yeah, I mean, look, I think it's doable. I do.
Okay, all right.
I do.
All right. Well, happy birthday, America. Happy birthday.
Don't forget, your birthday comes before America.
Well, that's just, well, what do you know?
Socialism failing to work as it always does. You talk about giving everybody something free, and all of a sudden, there's no food to eat. Hello. Anyway, 0-2.
And you got our card on your desk, right?
I am supposed to not open it until the 30th of June.
Right.
Okay, I'm holding back. By the way, yesterday, one of our biggest fans came in.
Yes, Jason. We didn't even get to talk about
No,
it.
we'll do that later. Okay. Here comes Nate Chicken Traffic. Nathan.
Seattle Sports has the update. Kitsap County, Chico, southbound 3, just before Chico Way. We've got a collision. Looks like about a mile or so back up right now. This is just reported, so it's unclear which lane is blocked. Tacoma to Olympia, 40 to 45 minutes. A little crowded through South Tacoma, and then scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. You're all clear through JBLM now that we've got some brand new HOV lanes down there. Tumwater, North 5, you've got a 2 to 3 mile backup starting at 93rd up due to road work, which should be wrapping up about now. In Spanaway, southbound 3 at 208th Street, a collision blocks all southbound lanes. You're able to get by there in the center turn lane. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute commute. Heavy volumes from the Duwamish Curve all the way to State Route 516. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a half hour. North 5 in Seattle, bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. And South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90. It's 40 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy. The most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip, like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain. DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning. DayandNight.net.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A neighbor believes fireworks caused a home to explode on Whidbey Island. It sent 3 firefighters to the hospital. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Tanya tells me the moment she saw her house on fire driving home, she immediately thought about her neighbor.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year. Brought it in over to Deception Pass in a semi-truck.
2 fire chiefs and a firefighter were rushed to a hospital with blast injuries. ATF agents will pick up the investigation Thursday, including an official cause, whether or not fireworks were involved. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Person found dead in one of the homes destroyed in last week's wildfire in Spokane has now been identified. Here's KIRO Radio's Frank Lindsay.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner says the remains found in one of the 14 burned homes were those of 83-year-old Marilyn Haugen. County Emergency Management Deputy Director Chandra Fox told county commissioners this week that one of the destroyed homes was vacant and was where the fire started.
There was either a squatter or someone in that structure who should not have been.
But Spokane County Fire District 9 says it's still investigating the cause and origin of the upriver fire, which broke out on June 16th and burned more than 200 acres. It is now fully contained. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Washington has signed on to the largest carbon market of its kind in the world, linking its climate program with California and Quebec. This combined market is expected to go live next year, letting companies buy pollution credits from a bigger pool. Ecology Director Casey Sixkiller.
It's proof that partnership still matters, and that by working together we can tackle big challenges in ways that benefit our environment, our economy, and the people that we serve.
Republican lawmakers want the Climate Commitment Act to be paused. They argue it adds to gas prices. Supporters say expanding the markets should help bring costs down. New council is in charge of shaping the strategy for growing Washington's economy. Governor signed an executive order today creating the Economic Development Council. T-Mobile executive Mike Katz is a member.
We're not here to sit through quarterly meetings and nod along. We're here to collaborate, to push, to challenge, and to roll up our sleeves to do the work with our partners and our team across the state.
The council's 26 members represent business, labor, higher education, and ports. Their strategic plan is due next year in June. Now to the real-time traffic desk. We check in with Nate Connors.
And this is brought to you by your KIRO Newsradio app. In Kitsap County in Chico, we've got a collision southbound 3 just prior to Chico Way. You've got a 2-mile backup that starts there in Silverdale. Renton to Puyallup on southbound 167 is pushing 45 minutes. Typical backups from north to south. You're not going to be surprised by anything here. In South Center, North 405, we're packed from I-5 into those S-curves. South Center to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett, both 50-minute commutes. So 405, we're seeing scattered backups from Bellevue into Alderwood. Pretty thick until you get into Totem Lake, and then it starts to separate pretty good for you. And then I-5, we're slow from Northgate into Mill Creek. Everett to Marysville, up to 20 minutes. We're slow from 526 all the way to 528. And Spanaway, we're all clear, southbound 3 at 208th Street from our earlier collision that had all southbound lanes blocked for a while. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Overcast skies for today. More clouds tomorrow, along with some rain and breezy conditions. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home comfort lines, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. A carrier unit over there. They carry heating and cooling.
What else?
And plumbing and electric, but carrier focusing on that. Came on last night. We had the air conditioning on last night. It was really nice. Then I opened the windows because I like the sound of the frogs. And Nick's like, "Hey, the air conditioning." I said, "Well, it's cold air, so technically it's okay if it goes out the window." She's like, "That didn't make any sense." I said, "Oh, go back to sleep. You're dreaming. You're madly in love with me." Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. That sound gets me all randy.
Hey,
what?
Aaron like that.
What?
Yep.
They're all out there looking for girlfriends and boyfriends. That's what they're doing.
That's right.
They're calling one.
I learned that on this show.
Froggy went a courting and he did fine.
Sorry? Say that again?
You know that song?
No.
Froggy went a courting and he did fine. Come on, Aaron.
He went a courting?
Went a courting.
A courting?
Like court, like
courting.
courting.
Go courting.
Yeah,
courting.
I get that makes sense.
And he did fine. Okay, you know what? This is wasted on all of you. We can have this through the whole show rather than ticker taters, rather like this in the background, putting people to sleep. A few months ago, after moving to Japan, a 6-year-old girl, Emelena Howard, became fascinated by something she saw almost every single day. The children her age confidently navigated the world on their own. So her father, Dylan, tells People magazine he and his daughter spent months preparing for the big venture out on their own on the street in Japan. And, of course, because it's a 6-year-old or a dad named Dylan, they have to put on it's on TikTok.
Hey, guys, we are in Japan. Today I am going to go to the store by myself. Let's go. Today is going to rain, but it's okay because I'm going to the store very fast before it starts raining. My mom and dad said to grab or use a cup of that jellies and apple juice and eggs. And the store I am going to is called 7-Eleven. Keep going to the store. There is the door. Let's shop with me. Orange juice and apple juice. The last apple juice. Oh man. Sumimasen.
はい、ありがとう。袋入れますか？はい。はい。
ありがとうございます。はい。大丈夫です。This bag is a little heavy.
The bag is so big and heavy.
Made it all the way home.
Yeah. And of course, it goes up on TikTok, gets shared in social media, and then everyone starts screaming and yelling at the father and anybody else to be involved in something like this because I can't believe you let your 6-year-old do this. You should be arrested.
Yeah, literally.
Really?
Yes. Her parents should be arrested. There's way too many predators now. 6 years old is far too young. No matter how much prep work is given, the parents need to protect their child, regardless of who they are. It's never safe to allow them to do anything like that.
Oh, my God. Well, it was Lenora Scanozzi or something like that. She did this with her kid, who I think was 8 years old in New York City. Let him take the subway to go somewhere, then come back. And then she talked about it. And then she was quickly, they described her as the worst mother in the world or in America or something. Then she got on the Today Show and she defended it. Then she started an entire blog about it. And now she's a regular contributor to Reason. She has a thing called Free Range Kids. We had her on a couple of years ago during Halloween because I said, what about Halloween being the most dangerous? She goes, oh my God, it's so stupid. There are more adults out there than ever on Halloween. It's the safest night to be out there.
There are not razor blades.
There's no razor blades. This whole thing. But then she gave me these statistics. She said that 28% of parents are afraid of their child being abducted. The chance of the child being abducted, 0.00007%. That's 1 in 1.4 million. Most of the time, when a kid is taken, it's taken by a non-custodial parent. An aunt or the father doesn't have rights to the kid, takes it from the mother, that kind of thing.
Every Amber Alert we have in the state of Washington
It's always
the
you
father.
know, something with the father, taking the kid away.
Or the mother.
Because I used to do this with the kids all the time, and they would be at the bus stop. They'd walk up the street there in Sammamish, and they'd stand at the bus stop with all the other kids. I'd roll up, put the window down, and I would yell the same thing every day. Stranger danger, stranger danger. Woo! Look out for strangers. And don't forget to poop.
Oh, good. Good reminder.
Every day. Stranger danger. Oh! Because all the other kids, we used to call them PJs. That's where their mothers or the kids like, Mom, I don't want to eat that. And then the mother's, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you want noodles and butter? I'm sorry. I don't want that, Mom. Make me something else. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, what would you like? You want me to go to the store for you? I don't care. Give me some food. We used to call this, and my kids would go to somebody's house, a kid would be like that to the parent. And they'd come home and they would tell us those stories, and we used to imitate those kids all the time. We called them PJs.
Yeah, I don't have children,
Oh,
but
my God.
I've got plenty of friends that do. And so,
Get out of my room, Mom. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just want to put your laundry away. Is that okay? Or should I come back later?
yes, the worst.
The kid's like 10.
The worst behaved kids are the ones that the parents just dote on.
Oh, my God.
And the best behaved children are the ones that they have respect.
Get in there and yeah. We had so many laughs. We would imitate those kids all the time. Rye's imitating him now because Rye's living with me.
That's right.
And Nick at the house.
Did you do his laundry?
Yeah, Nick, and he's like, I don't want this. And of course, Nick didn't know it was a joke. She's like, oh, well, go ape yourself. Hey, that's how you talk to him. All right, take us out, little Froggy Rent-A-Cord. Would you there, Andrew? Let's educate the kids. Here we go, everybody. Gather around the radio set. This is about Froggy looking for love.
Froggy went a coating and he did right. Froggy went a coating and he did right. Froggy went a coating and he did right. Holding a pistol by his side.
Froggy hit a pistol.
Yeah, that's Mr. Mouse and so in the hole in the hay in the hole in the hay. Went up to Mr. Mouse's door.
What?
Mrs. Mousie's door.
Get away, you've been here before.
He's trying to court a mouse.
She's
with a gun.
I don't know.
I think it is a mouse.
He's working outside of his species.
Yeah, the frog's
nothing wrong with that.
Kind of rapey.
Stop that.
He's got a gun.
You don't know the end of the thing. It ends up happening.
Just because he has a gun, he's rapey? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's going to...
Renee's got traffic. Gee whiz.
This one brought to you by Global Credit Union. South 5 in Seattle, we're packed from Northgate into downtown. 45-minute trip now from Linwood. North 5, we're bumper to bumper at Albro Place in the downtown. Crossing the lake into Seattle. Westbound 90, you're crowded across the lake over to I-5. Westbound 520, you're clear across the lake. You're going to jam up there at Montlake to I-5. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 35-minute commute. We are solid from 520 all the way to Cold Creek Parkway. And then from there, you'll thin out, but you're not in the clear till you get the Renton S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. We're heavy for the Boeing Access Road down to State Route 516. And Federal Way, southbound I-5, jams up at South 320th. You won't catch a break until you're well into Fife. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You know how some parts of the house don't work? Let me explain. There's that closet that you've got that when you open it up, everything falls out. Or you try to find something, you can't because it's not working. There's too much stuff in there. And how about the garage? I know some people that can't park their car in the garage because there's everything else parked in the garage. You see what I'm saying? There might be some other parts of the house where it's just packed and there's no place to store anything. So maybe you've even gone to renting one of those storage units. Well, that adds up every single month. You can't even remember what's in there. So a better investment to get parts of those house working would be Closets by Design. The consultant comes to your house. They look at the problem. They know that each one of these problems that need to be solved have to be customized. But you don't get a big customized price. You're going to get 40% off plus an additional 15% off in 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. I really became a believer in Closets by Design when they came out to the barn in Cle Elum. You should see the work that they did. My goodness. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive.
And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Buckle Shoe Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue, and it was a little sapling at the time, a little teeny tree, little sprout of a tree there in Lakewood.
Oh.
And then, what's wrong?
Nothing.
It lived a good, long, healthy, happy life, and some people started to notice some mushrooms growing down near the base of it, which basically tells you that it's rotted. So it has to be taken down. And the thing was, not everybody say it at the exact same time. I mean, altogether, it was, wait. Stop. It was 150 feet tall, 80 inches wide. Woo. Massive tree. So the city pays $29,000 to have the thing taken down. The guy that took it down said, I'll take the wood. Here he's right here. He's the co-founder of Ranger Tree Service.
Since I was a kid, I noticed this tree. It's one of those where if you drove by in a car, you never looked at it or saw it, but when you rode your bike, you would turn your head and go, wow, that's a massive tree. I used to bring all my friends by that were from out of town to see this great big tree. Brought my kids here. Sometimes I just come by and, look to see if it was still here. So, yeah, I've been gawking at this tree for, some 40 years at least. But it is mixed emotions in the days leading up to this. Certainly not happy to see a tree like that.
Okay, so then he explains how to come down.
According to the arborist report, it has red ring rot, which is very, very unpredictable. If it gets into being the person that it is taking the tree down, it makes me feel better than if somebody else was because
I'm getting paid $29K.
We have a business where we are trying to upcycle as much of the local wood as possible. So a tree like this normally would just end up in a firewood pile or at a pulp mill. And this way it can become objects that will live on perhaps longer than the tree was alive, but certainly mean a lot to people who make use of it and their families. And
yeah, so what he's going to do, they're going to use whatever pieces they can use. It's quite the tree, 500 years old, 160 feet tall. They're going to cut it and use live edge for tables and chairs and stuff like that. So they paid $29,000 to take it down. I wonder what the value is of the wood. The value of the wood could be like, depending on how much is there and usable, it could be like what, worth $50,000 or something?
More than that, I think.
Okay, I'll just throw a number out there. $100,000.
I say $150.
$310,000.
All right, let's see. Yeah, the answer is $310,000. Wow. Dave. Congratulations. Look at you. Come on up. Thank you for the showcase show.
I know my wood. What's so funny about that?
Nothing. And then, of course, anytime we can do a story about a tree, we love the fact that a bunch of people got to a city council meeting in Seattle, and this was 2020, and they were the tree singers. They took the mic, and we had the full song, but which one did you like better? Did you like Susan Grant's full song, or do you want them all doing it together?
Do the partial.
Okay, here we go. So they were upset because there was a tree going to be taken down. You can imagine what most of these people that are singing look like. Mm-hmm. They're the same people that stand on the street corners with the No King signs and stuff, right? Mm-hmm.
Such a lack of life and sound. All that's left is bare, muddy ground. A magnificent tree was murdered. The mighty dollar cut it down. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
Yes.
We ripped it last time because there was like 6 verses of it.
Where was that tree? I wasn't around.
I don't know, but there's a hole in the sky now.
That hole
in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. There's a hole in the sky. In the sky.
Like a shanty.
Check traffic.
Alrighty, this one brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. In Tumwater, roadwork North 5 at Tumwater Boulevard has created about a 3-mile backup. WashDOT just updated us to let us know this will continue to about 4:30. Originally, it's supposed to wrap up around 3. Tacoma to Olympia at 45 minutes. You're all clear until you get into Lacey, and you're slow from about Sleater-Kinney into Olympia. Here in Seattle, South 5, jam-packed from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle is a 45-minute commute. Southbound 99, bumper to bumper from Green Lake to the stadiums. Everett to Marysville, 20 minutes. You're slow from 526 all the way to 528. Getting there, Seattle to Everett, we just hit the 1 hour mark. And Bellevue to Everett, also close to 1 hour at 55 minutes. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Ooh, it is hot
John
outside.
Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, your first thought is, oh my gosh, I need a whole new system. What's that going to cost me? Hold on. Don't panic. The best thing to do is call Home Comfort Alliance. Their approach is so simple. They repair first, replace only if needed. Their technicians diagnose the real problem before recommending anything, because a worn-out part or a simple fix can often get your cooling back up and running without the cost and time of a full replacement. And if you need something new, ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Smart move. Keeps you cool in the summer and warm when winter comes around. All in one system. To find out the cost either way, don't wait on hold or guess. Just head to homecomfortalliance.com and get real pricing in under 60 seconds. No pressure, no guesswork, just honest answers from people that have been doing this for almost 50 years. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, do what we did. Call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Search and rescue operations continue after Venezuelan earthquakes. At least 188 people are dead, nearly 1,000 others injured. Armando Nori lives in hard-hit Caracas.
We finally got out of the apartment, and it was chaos, Everybody, all my neighbors were on the street screaming, crying, yelling, It was really hysterical,
A federal judge blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would mandate how states run mail-in voting operations. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians. A U.S. official confirms that Iran attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone today.
Attention all vessels, attention all vessels.
Iran's Navy warning ships they must have Iranian permission to travel through the straits. This is ABC News. The Florida immigration facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is closing after a year. Governor Ron DeSantis in a news conference.
I don't think you would see us doing this again. This was temporary. This was an emergency measure. And we thought that it would be 6 to 12 months, and that's what ended up happening.
Lawsuits alleged environmental violations and inhumane conditions. On Wall Street, the tech-heavy NASDAQ closed only slightly lower, despite Micron Technology stock surging after big earnings. Apple stock pulled the NASDAQ down on news they would be increasing the cost of Macs and iPads. Microsoft also fell after announcing they're hiking Xbox prices. The Dow gained. The S&P 500 index was flat. Britain's King Charles reveals he paid £12.2 million in taxes last year, about $16 million in U.S. dollars. Becomes the first UK monarch to reveal tax details. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
No new taxes. Governor Ferguson talking about his next budget proposal after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're jam-packed from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, a 45-minute commute. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from Green Lake to the stadiums. Northbound I-5, bumper to bumper at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Then you're going to clear out to get about Lake City Way, and then from there, another solid backup all the way into Mill Creek. Seattle to Everett's going to going to take you 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes with scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. Your backup's going to start near MLK Junior Way. Bellevue to Renton is a half hour, and Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is at 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson says he will not be proposing any new taxes in his upcoming budget.
Does that mean cuts? Well, of course.
Ferguson says the state will likely be facing a multi-billion-dollar shortfall in the next session.
I don't want to be doing this every year. Nobody back here wants to be doing this every year. Nobody in Washington State wants us to be doing this every year.
So programs, including those added since 2019, will be under scrutiny. Ferguson says he's telling legislators he has an expectation of no tax increases. But he stopped short of committing to veto any tax increase that should come across his desk, saying the next session doesn't wrap up for more than a year. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A pregnant woman is in stable condition after 2 loose dogs attacked her this morning in Tacoma. Police officer Shelby Boyd says it happened near the Tacoma Mall when a pit bull terrier and an American bully went after the small dog she was holding.
The dogs were impounded by Tacoma Animal Control. They will undergo our standard procedure. It's a 10-day quarantine. And then Tacoma Animal Control will conduct a dangerous dog investigation.
The owner of those bigger dogs are cooperating with investigators. The woman's small dog ran off, had not been found as of this afternoon. A 15-year-old boy tied to a deadly Kent shooting pleads not guilty in a separate gun case. He's now charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and a machine gun, along with the murder charge in that June 3rd homicide. Police say he fired into a group of teens, killing a 16-year-old girl. Prosecutors want him tried as an adult. A Seattle basketball legend is returning to the sidelines to coach the Garfield High School boys team.
You know, this place has a strong place in my heart.
That's former NBA All-Star Brandon Roy. He was fired by Garfield at the start of the 2025-26 school year over allegations he participated in a recruiting violation. District says an investigation found no wrongdoing. And the Mariners are closing in on a franchise record they would rather avoid. After today's 5-1 loss in Pittsburgh, they've now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 straight games. Only the 2015 Mariners had a longer stretch at 13 in a row. M's fall back to 500 at 41-41 on the season. Your forecast now looking at cloudy skies for this afternoon and tomorrow as well. Some rain on the way, breezy weather as well. 66 degrees now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
There we go with the John Curley Show. Tin Hat Jason, thank you very much for the gift yesterday. Everybody that stops by the desk reads your card and wonders.
Even our boss. Boy, did he have a crazy idea today. I can't repeat it, and he asked me to forget he ever said it, but wow, Brian.
I didn't hear it.
No, you didn't.
I was walking away. He was talking to me.
You were busy off.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
But
so
Tin Hat
cheese.
Jason, thank you for the long trip out here, and wow, what a gift. Are you going to be sampling it?
Absolutely, this weekend.
Andrew, you're going to get a little something?
No.
Oh.
Wow. We'll see what Joe says.
Okay. Let Joe try it. He'll eat anything. Dive it in the news. Let Mikey try it. He'll eat anything. When will you be trying it, by the way, just so we can get a report back? Maybe this weekend you fit it in with some of your other...
Either tomorrow night or Saturday morning. One of the other.
Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Or cartoons. That'd be great.
God. We should bring it in and show everybody. We got a picture of it. We'll put it on the counter over there. Let people get a good look at it.
Take detailed notes.
It's not that serious.
A journal. Take a journal.
Come on.
Wait, what?
It's not that serious.
It says a former heroin addict.
We're talking about legal substances in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Highly concentrated.
Yeah, it is. Highly concentrated. I saw this story in the Wall Street Journal. There's not much to say about it other than just going to be like, oh, my God. Total amount of money stolen from Medicare. I thought this is going to be a typo, but no, it's in the Wall Street Journal. They, was it $6.8 billion that they were able to find?
Yes.
Okay.
So far.
So far. And here's the crazy thing about these people that are stealing this stuff. They take so much by ripping off the system, but then they don't seem to have any problem with the fact that they have all of this. And the one woman is a nurse. Okay, here's what this nurse has. Nothing against nurses, but how many nurses you know have a Ferrari?
$600,000 Ferrari.
Right, a Lamborghini. She has almost $1 million necklace. And then she's got a house. She's building a home, a mansion in the Philippines. And you're like, doesn't Gloria, isn't she a nurse? And she goes rolling by in a $600,000 Ferrari. Nobody says anything. And this other guy's got this business, another little crappy business of some sort, but he's able to find some way to stick it to Medicaid and Medicare and bill for these systems. And that guy, also, same story. He has close to $1 billion that he has stolen from the government through, falsifying various billing. Want to know about the government's $6.5 billion healthcare fraud crackdown? Yeah, the necklace. One woman has more than 6 cars. Yeah, here she is, the Nevada nurse. $906 million she stole. Good God.
There's Daniel Robinson, the owner of an Illinois...
He's no slacker himself.
No, Illinois owned an Illinois methadone clinic, already kind of a, rough and tumble business. He bought a $1 million yacht that he named Butt Naked.
Yeah.
Classy.
And then, not to be outdone, some guy in Las Vegas, $1.2 billion scheme with illegal kickbacks, just running the bill up. And the government, his $47,000 Rolex, his multi-million-dollar life insurance policy, his multi-million-dollar home, $24 million scheme to buy more homes, more luxury cars. And the thing is, you find some way to burn the system, and they just keep running it up. Nobody bothers to come and check because why? It's not my money. What do I care? And there they go. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. Probably about 12 years ago, I got asked to do a keynote speech in Washington, D.C. For these people that are in charge of waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid and Medicare. And I was talking to one of the guys in charge. He goes, it's everywhere. Now they've probably using AI to track it. But there's so many different ways, and so much money comes flying out billing for these things. When I used to sell stuff to nursing homes, I remember going to this one nursing home, and the guy's like, yeah, we need to reorder some more of our Insure. I was like, you guys only have like 14 people that are on Insure, but you're ordering like cases and well, we just want to stock it.
Yeah.
So the regular delivery guy didn't make it, so I brought like 10 cases or something in my car. And I go, where do you want it? And they're like, just put it in the warehouse, put it in this like warehouse building that's from floor to ceiling all the way up. So they buy it because that's one the government doesn't see. You buy the thing, then you charge the patients are they drinking it or not drinking it? Who knows? But they're not drinking it. Who cares? They buy it. They charge the government. Government reimburses them for it. Or here's a great one we used to do. We will sell you a wheelchair, Invacare wheelchair. Let's say it's a regular one with adjustable leg things, everything else. We'll sell it to you as $129. So they buy it for $129, but then they bill Medicare, Medicaid for the thing every single month. If that patient is even using that wheelchair anymore, who knows? Are they even drinking the Insure? Who cares? Just every person come in there, just ka-ching, ka-ching. Everybody's rolling in there, and they would buy all this stuff from us, and then they would be able to have it reimbursed by the government on those. Yep. The little rascal rollabout, those things that you see the heavyset folks at Fred Meyer rolling around in. Yeah, they just made a mint off those. I remember going by there because I would sell them. I had to go fix them, which normally meant just talking to an old lady about plugging them into the wall. She's like, I don't even use it anymore. You want to take it back? And I said, the guy, she doesn't use it anymore. We could take it back. Oh, no.
We bill
The
$5,000
government's
a
going
month.
to pay for it. Yeah. And the government's going to make sure that we continue to make fat people. This is, there was a Judge Amy Berman Jackson, district judge in D.C., which I do agree with her on this. She said, you guys there at Health and Human Services, and you've got Robert Kennedy Jr. in there, you can't start determining what can be restricted by what the people at various states are allowed to get with their SNAP card. If you want, Congress can do that. Congress can say, you can't buy this, you can't buy this, you can't buy that. You can't buy Coca-Cola, you can't buy sweets with it. You're not allowed to buy it. It has to come, they have to write it. You, as the department, can't come in and try to do that. I agree with her on that one. But everyone has to know that the folks at Coca-Cola spend millions and millions of dollars every single year making sure that Coca-Cola is considered one of the products that you are allowed to buy when you're on SNAP. And here we go. This is Brandon Gill from Texas. This guy it must have been an attorney. Such a great job. So he is talking with the SNAP director of Food Research and Action Center, Gina Neo, about the nutritional value of Coca-Cola. Here we go. Enjoy.
Should SNAP dollars be spent on sodas?
The purpose of the SNAPS program is to provide families to have food and beverages.
Should it be spent on sugary sodas?
I am happy to talk about hunger and nutrition, but not dictate what Americans should or should not eat or may have access to.
I'm asking if tax dollars should be used to pay for sodas.
Taxpayers' money should be utilized to ensure that individuals have access to the food that they need to survive or may be accessible to them.
Do they need sugary sodas to survive?
Some of them do, who do have low blood issues, who may
Is that
have
right?
who have kidney issues.
You think they need Coca-Cola to survive? Do you think that's the most appropriate use of our tax dollars?
I am not a physician, but medical records and expertise
You were
do show
just
that in
citing
some
the
circumstances
health
they do.
needs, apparently, of the American people. So do the American people need Coca-Cola to survive?
I did not say that. I said then.
I'm asking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to say yes or no.
I will not answer for individuals and their choices.
You think that there are some Americans who need Coca-Cola to survive? Is that your testimony?
I am happy to talk about the food and nutrition
You just don't
needs
know.
that individuals have.
You just don't know.
Yeah. And then he asked her this.
Is your organization funded by soft drink makers?
She's going to answer.
I am not in charge of development, but no.
It's not. Okay. Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps? Do organizations who profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the research that needed.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
You know, every lawyer worth the salt knows you never ask a question you don't know the answer to, right? Classic. This woman is stepping in it. Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
You think that that's a conflict of interest?
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest? I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer.
No. Okay. It's so simple. Everybody can follow the money. $26 or $28 million is spent by major corporations to lobby Congress to make sure that unhealthy, poor people can go in and buy food. It's not even really food, buy junk so that they are part of the SNAP program. So you have a corporation goes in and says, hey, make sure you don't cut Coca-Cola out. Make sure that you continue to let people buy chips and candy bars and all this other stuff. And then they go, okay, and they then take the money, and then they make sure that all of those things are listed on there so that the person can walk in. Then what happens is that same person, 72% of the people that are receiving SNAP benefits are also on Medicaid. So they are already unhealthy. The people are paying for their medical, and then they're also, majority of them of a particular age, once they get over 57, are obese. So not only are we're taking tax dollars, giving them crappy food, which they are then eating, and then they're walking in the hospital door saying, I'm obese, I'm fat and unhealthy. Please now pay for my medical. Oh, by the way, I need some more SNAP crap so I can continue to eat more crap so that I can continue to be unhealthy so you can continue to pay for my operation to have my feet removed so I can go to the store and get more Coca-Cola so I can eat more crap so you can continue to pay for more stuff. And then the senators and the congressmen take the money from General Mills and the others so they continue to keep their job. It is the most ridiculous system that we've set up. And the fact that we have this and it's grown, what was it? So was it 68? Was it 68 billion or something? And it's up to 100 and some billion. And they jacked it all up during COVID. They still keep the numbers high. They still continue to fund the same thing. They still fund it. And you have major corporations coming in and making sure that, yes, don't cut out Coca-Cola. General Mills gets in there. They all want to be a part of it because it's great, easy money. Plus, the other group of people that love it are the people that own the convenience stores. The American Association of Convenience Stores are always in there lobbying because they get a lot of money. They get people to come in with their SNAP stuff, and then they get such a big chunk of money right from the government, directed from out of your pocket to the Washington, D.C., then to the food companies, but then primarily to the convenience stores, and then to the people that are unhealthy and shouldn't be eating this stuff in the first place. And this, I'm sorry, with all due respect, this moron that's advocating for, they need sugary drinks for their own health.
And should or should not eat or may have access to.
I'm asking if tax dollars should be used to pay for sodas.
Taxpayers' money should be utilized to ensure that individuals have access to the food that they need to survive.
Food they need to survive. Coca-Cola. And then she stepped in it. Then he kept saying survive. You keep using the word survive, that they need the food to survive.
Yeah, but this is just, don't you think this is just part of a bigger problem, which is the money in politics, the lobbying?
Sure, that's a big part of it.
The whether, if there's fraud in SNAP or welfare programs, that's one part. You can work on that. But I don't think we should be policing what they're buying.
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, just think about it. I just gave you the circle. The circle is, here's money. No, that's a very tight circle. Here's money. You go in, you buy crappy food, you're unhealthy, and then you walk into the doctor's office, and then the the taxpayer pays the doctor for the food that you're eating, that we're giving your food, you're eating crappy food, now you're unhealthy, so we're paying for your medical and we're paying for your food.
Yeah, but I think that...
Do you think that if we go back to the old days where you got powdered milk and cheese, government cheese, and something else, do you think someone would eat that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. They would. And they used to. The government would give you a big chunk of cheese, and they would give you something else. Remember those things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But the reason you can walk in with your freebie food thing, your SNAP thing, is because the lobbyists are making sure that's the food.
Yeah, but this standard is I mean, it's almost minuscule compared to the other problems and the other waste that we're using or we're spending because of lobbyists in different industries.
I know. I'm just focusing on this one. And the other part of it is the waste, fraud, and abuse from this, so that you get the SNAP thing worth $10. Somebody on the street sells it for $5. They sell it for $5. Now the person's they got $5 cash. Yeah. The other guy now has the thing worth $10.
Right.
So he goes in. Sometimes what they do, and they try to catch them, but it happens so often, that the convenience store guy will say, I'll tell you what, I'll buy that thing from you for $6.
Right.
So now the convenience store guy is just going to trade you, going to give you $6 cash. He's going to get 10 back, and he didn't have to sell you any products.
The system's clearly being abused.
Absolutely abused.
But I don't think unless the government's going to go in and monitor every single thing that people buy with their money, I don't think.
But just start small, as Brandon Gill is saying, Representative Gill.
He's just trying to own her.
No Coca-Cola. How about that? You can't buy Coke.
What?
You can't buy sugary drinks.
That's probably not all they drink. What if you want a Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola's delicious. You can have one every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
What if your kid wants one?
It's a luxury, not a sustaining
Here's the
food,
thing,
though.
folks. When you decide that you will become the child of Uncle Sam can now dictate what you eat. And that's the case. If you want to have Uncle Sam give you free then you have to live by Uncle Sam's rules. As an adult, a responsible adult, and I know people get down on their luck and they go through a hard time and those food stamps can really help them out. But most of the people that are able to pull up and out and get off, I'm saying there's a big group of people that we pay not to work. We pay not to do anything. And once you decide that you want to be treated like a child and the government treats everybody like a child, that's why we have Social Security, because God knows we couldn't do it on our own. So we have to have Uncle Sam put the money away for us. They treat you like a child. You have to then decide that you're going to follow the rules of Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam's rules are who's giving me money so I can make sure you can drink Coca-Cola and that you can drink eat every crappy food you want.
Yeah, Uncle Sam's got a lot more problems than somebody drinking Coca-Cola on Snap.
I get it. See the problem.
I get it. I get the health. It's not obviously sustainable nutrition, but it's a much bigger problem than
Here's
Coca-Cola.
the other thing. Why does it continue to go up every year?
Because we make it that easy.
Does
And that's
poverty
what needs
is
to be
poverty?
fixed.
Poverty is about 12%, and it's been 12% since the war on poverty. It's been about 12%. That's about it. Hasn't gone up. Hasn't gone right in there. We spend trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars we spend, and it's still at 12%. But yet, even though it's not going up, we spend more money on this stuff. We spend more and more money on SNAP. Why?
Probably the lobbyists.
That's part of it. Plus, hey, look at this. I can take money from one person, give it to another. I get to keep my job.
Yeah.
I get to be a congressman or a senator. People make a big deal about me. I get to wear little buttons on my jackets.
We just spent it cost us about $160 billion to go to war with Iran for 4 months and got absolutely nothing out of it and came out in a negative.
Yes, that's true.
Somebody should answer for that.
That's right. Yep. How much did we spend?
We spent $40 billion just on military munitions, deployment, things like that. Cost of the taxpayer
about 3 months of SNAP.
Cost of the taxpayers $132 billion.
Okay, some of that money came back because we make bombs here in this country, and then everybody drinks a Coke in between their shifts. Here's Nate checking traffic.
And don't forget, Trump said Iran's going to buy all our soy and wheat.
Yeah,
so
good.
we'll get
We'll
get our money back.
Okay, good. Whew.
Seattle Sports has the update. Everett to Marysville, 20 minutes. We're heavy from 526 to 528. Linwood to Bellevue on 405s at 35 minutes. We're slow from Alderwood into Bothell. Then you'll clear out until you get into Bellevue. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. It is solid from Northgate Way all the way to I-90. If you want to get out of that and head to southbound 99, you can, but just know it is packed from the zoo to the stadiums. Northbound I-5, bumper to bumper at the Michigan curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton's a 35-minute drive. We're jam-packed from 520 through Factoria, and then it'll thin out as you head into the Renton S-curves. North 405, we're heavy from South Center through those S-curves. South Center to Bellevue, a half-hour drive. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're up to a 50-minute commute. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Some parts of the house just don't seem to work anymore. Like the closet that you open it up and you don't even bother looking in there because it's so jam-packed with stuff. Things fall out all the time. Or you can't quite put the car in a two-car garage because one side of the garage is just full of stuff. Same thing can happen in the laundry room. There's just stuff all over the floor. There's no place to store towels or anything. You know what's happened? It's It's a closet design problem when you think about it. And maybe even gone as far as having to rent some sort of storage unit to put stuff. Maybe because you just need those rooms, those spaces to be better laid out. And that's where the experts at Closets by Design come to the house. And they customize, truly customize. They see the problems that you have, and they fix them for you. You don't pay the big price, though. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. I can tell you, when they came to the barn in Cle Elum and did the great work, I am a believer in Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. Hosted by Open Road RV. Free parking and admission.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. 700 pounds of fireworks caused an explosion on Whidbey Island, injuring 5 people and destroying 2 homes. Central Whidbey Island Fire Chief Jerry Helm tells KIRO 7 TV.
The estimation right now is some smoking materials were around the fireworks in question.
Yesterday's blast injured 3 firefighters, one of them having hand surgery. The others have been released. ATF is investigating. Person found dead after last week's Spokane wildfire has now been identified. The remains of 83-year-old Marilyn Haugen were recovered from one of the homes lost in the upriver fire. Chandra Fox is Spokane County's Emergency Management Deputy Director. She says 14 homes in all were destroyed.
One of which was vacant, and that was the ignition point of the fire itself.
Investigators say a squatter was inside. Officials, however, have not determined an official cause. Washington's Cap and Invest program is about to get a major expansion. The state signed a deal today linking its carbon market with California and Quebec. This allows them to run joint pollution permit auctions starting next year. Representative Joe Fitzgibbon helped write the Climate Commitment Act. He says the partnership could open the door for others.
If our friends in Salem or in Albany or in Annapolis or Victoria are listening to us today, that they hear our message that we are excited to welcome you into our program.
Republican lawmakers say the climate program is a major driver in high gas prices. Supporters say expanding the carbon market should help bring costs down. The World Cup matches in Seattle, as we've seen, have been packing the streets with tourists. One local business owner, though, says they're also driving away his customers.
Those are the worst days that we tend to have.
Vince Vu owns Ennui Bake Shop in the Chinatown International District. He spoke today with G and Ursula.
It's quite a combination of, folks being told, tourists being told, better avoid the CID, and the locals staying home because they're afraid of what's happening because of all the crowds.
Mayor Katie Wilson has pledged action to stop crime in the International District. Vu says he's still waiting. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
This one brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Seattle to Everett's going to take you an hour. Same with Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour drives. Linwood to Seattle, a 50-minute commute. We're bumper to bumper from Northgate Way all the way to I-90. Southbound 99 is packed as well from the zoo to the stadiums. North 5, we're jammed up at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a 35-minute drive. It's bumper to bumper from 520 through Factoria, then it'll start to thin out, but you're not in the clear until you're well into the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. South 5, you had a brief backup through DuPont and then scattered slowing between Lacey and Olympia. Coming the other way, Olympia to Tacoma, a 40-minute drive. We're crowded from JBLM all the way up to the Tacoma Mall. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Looking at cloudy skies for today, tomorrow, through the weekend. A big cool down with highs in the mid to upper 60s, rainy and breezy tomorrow. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring in the PNW brings all kinds of weather, so the KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather Team uses Future Track to predict it, Storm Tracker to follow it, and Wind Tracker to measure it. Our sudden changes can pack a punch, and when thunderstorms rumble, downpours drench, and allergies hit, KIRO 7's accurate forecast gets you ready, so you know exactly what's going to hit where you live. KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather, only on KIRO 7 News.
See, now it's stuck. It just keeps doing the same thing.
I don't know
Then it has to go from here.
Did you hear the synth?
Oh, there we go. It's too late for it now.
Your standards are way too high for these, John.
The people deserve the best.
The best SNAP benefits.
The best Bucky song. Like who's the guy from the Saturday Night Live? What's his name? Doing the more cowbell, right?
More cowbell.
And he was the
Christopher
producer.
Walken.
But Christopher Walken's character is like
it was.
I put my pants on the one leg at a time.
Bruce Dickinson.
But by the time Bruce Dickinson he has platinum records, right, or something like that.
I put my pants on just like you, one leg at a time.
Right.
Except when I put my pants on, I make a gold record.
That's it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for that. What the hell are we doing? Joe is determined to get in touch with this guy because he says that he, being the UFO movie creator, here we go back.
No, he's a movie producer.
Right.
Acclaimed Hollywood film producer and television.
Who makes gold records. And he said that there are tall, white aliens frequently visiting Orcas Island, and one even drank at a pub. His name is Brent Friedman, and here is his story.
Where did you see a Nordic alien?
On Orcas Island.
Okay.
I was visiting a friend there. I'll keep this one short. And so I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to take a walk on his property. He had like 20 acres in the woods. So I start walking and I come over this ridge and there'd been no one out. And all of a sudden there's this person who literally looks like a male model, like a Scandinavian male model with kind of longish blonde hair in a weird kind of more like European clothes, whatever. And they say, hello, Brent. Like they're about 20 feet, a little bit further down the hill. And I'm thinking, okay, I did not see his mouth move. First of all, how's he know my name? Secondly, I did not see his mouth move.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hello. And he said, turn around and walk the other way. And mouth's not moving.
Uh-huh.
And he's not looking threatening. And I kind of was like, got it, on it.
No.
Turn and I walk away.
No, you know what you do? You man up.
Yeah?
Man up.
What do? You
get ready. First of all, if you're going to fight, you take your shirt off. That seems to be a big thing. I see that on TikTok.
Yes.
You take your shirt off, start calling the person the B word a lot.
Ooh.
Bounce around, loosen it up a little bit. At this point, make sure someone's filming it, and then you just square up and go at it. It's go time.
With a 7-foot Scandinavian,
His
looks like
mouth
a male
doesn't
model.
move. Just more places to punch. So I say.
Nice.
And what did this guy do instead? What did he do?
And I kind of was like, got it, on it. Turn and I walk away. And now I'm getting a little bit freaked out. I get a ways down and I look back and he's not there anymore.
Okay. So evidently, they're known on the island. These large Norwegian-looking aliens, Nordics whose mouth don't move.
So I ask, my friend comes back and I say, okay, I just had a really weird experience. He goes, oh, with one of those tall white people. I'm like, what do you know about them? And he goes, they have a compound on the Orcas Island. And he said, there's a lot of weird people that have compounds here because there's weird energy that comes like every couple, months. And they come in a black helicopter unmarked to a facility that's all gated. And there's about 8 of them. And they come here and they stay here for a couple days at a time, apparently when this energy is really high, and they get recharged. Whoa. And I'm like, have you ever met them? And he goes, no, they don't. They're very select in who they meet. He goes, there's a story about a number of years ago. One of them came down into one of the pubs, right, and just walked through the door one day and said, I want to have a drink. And everyone's like, who are you? And he's like, I live up the way. And they're like, oh.
Up the way.
Very select.
I want to have a drink.
Yeah.
Okay. And they all said in unison, we'll do a 3, 2, 1, then who are you, right? So we'll reenact it.
Okay.
I want to have a drink.
Who are you?
I come from up the way.
Okay, cool. And he's like, so what's it like to live here? And they're like,
so what's it like to live here? We don't know what they say. Hold on.
On Orcas? And he goes, no, on Earth.
Oh, wow. What's it like to live here? On
Orcas?
No, on Earth.
What? Yeah. And everyone's like, okay, dude, what is going on here? And then he had a couple drinks.
Dude.
And people had to like get him outside. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'll walk home. And then he left.
They threw him out?
No, they just walked him outside. They said, dude, because you want to know what life is like on Earth.
Bro.
Yeah. Well.
If you live on Orcas Island.
Yeah.
And you're privy to the black helicopter, tall Nordic.
Well, this guy, Hollywood producer, Brent Friedman, has had the experience, Joe. If you're this crack producer, why don't you just get on the phone and get on the horn or the blower and call him?
I want to talk to the locals that had a beer with him, that had to throw him out.
Well, you haven't even tried to contact this guy?
No. What?
Oh.
Why this guy?
Because he's the one.
He lives in Hollywood.
No.
We need to talk to a local. This are apparently well known.
Do you know the name of the bar?
Nope. Secondhand story from this guy.
So I asked, my friend comes, Energy is walking down
where's the bar?
into one of the pubs, right? And
It's a
just
pub.
walked through the door one day.
Okay, there we
and
go.
said-
It's a pub in Orcas Island with a door.
And I want to have a drink.
And apparently they got drinks there.
Everyone's like, who are you? And he's like,
and there's a bunch of people, like a Greek chorus, that all say, who are you, in unison.
I live up the way.
So so he's living, so it's uphill. So the pub is downhill with a door, with people, and there's drinks, and everyone speaks in unison.
And they're like, okay, cool. And he's like, so what's it like to live here? And they're like, on Orcas? And he goes, no, on Earth.
So they know they live on Orcas. Mm-hmm. They ask inquisitive questions. Can you find that place?
I think there's only 2 places on Orcas Island that would be classified as a pub.
Uh-huh.
So it serves alcohol and food.
Okay.
We've got the White Horse Pub, which is closed, opens at 11:30 on Friday.
Is it downhill from up the hill?
I don't know, but we also have the Lower Tavern.
Ooh, Lower.
Which is, makes sense. That makes
there
sense.
it is. There it is.
They're open right now. We could call them right now.
Tell him you'd like to have a drink, and then see if everyone yells into the phone at the same time, the exact same thing.
What did they say again? Who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Here comes Nate checking traffic. That's who you are.
Thank you. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. All right, Everett to Marysville, just under 20 minutes now. We're still slow from 526 to 528. Seattle to Everett down to 50 minutes. Heavy from Lake City Way through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. Scattered back up starting about mid-Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. Once you get about 527 in Canyon Park, you're going to thin out pretty quickly. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 25 minutes on 520. A little longer, half hour on I-90. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. We're jam-packed from 520 through Factoria. And then from there, it'll slowly thin out as you get into Renton. And Seattle to Federal Way, a 35-minute drive. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has given the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12 months free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest, invested over $350 million?
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with a view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Celebrate 4th of July weekend at T-Mobile Park as the Mariners square off against the Blue Jays. The fun gets started with a fireworks spectacular on Friday the 3rd, presented by T-Mobile. Then don't miss out on patriotic bucket hats Saturday the 4th, available to the first 10,000 fans thanks to Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Don't miss the 10th annual Summer RV Blowout Sale. Be there June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. Free parking and admission.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Beginning of Odd Couple, I always say. Right. Buckle Street Casino was our text line. 1-888-973-54. Okay, stop. Feels like a Friday that way you guys are, just kind of jazzing it up. We're throwing everything, just throwing it all aside, and who cares what the script says?
You guys
got it all written down here. The trooper that pulls over the Tesla driver. I'm sure this happens more than we know, where the person doesn't get pulled over. But what a nice feature. Driving home, you're tired, you have a long day, and you just, rather than pulling over the side of the road and taking a nap, just put the thing on automatic or whatever you put it on.
Self-drive, full self-driving.
Full self-drive, and then let's let her go. How fast were you going, 80?
She was going 78 in a 60.
Okay. So technically she wasn't driving, so she wasn't speeding. The car was.
Correct.
Okay. Good luck with that. They pull her over, and she was possibly asleep. Well,
he asked her, "Do you know how fast you're going?"
And she said, "No."
Are you asleep? Possibly.
Oh,
bad answer.
Bad answer on that one. What is the proper answer on? Do you know how fast? Do you know why I pulled you over? There is an answer you're supposed to say that stops them from asking another question. That's a little trick thing, isn't it?
It's like sovereign citizen thing?
No. Do you know why I pulled you over? If you look it up, there's three questions how you're supposed to answer them, which stops them from, it's a weird little trick. It's not the sovereign citizen where you're like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling, and this is my government name or some other crap. They hate that stuff.
Wow, good tip.
Well, I'm going to look it up, but while I'm babbling, you're supposed to look it up. Now I have to look it up. Hold on. When a police officer pulls you over and asks, do you know why I stopped you? What are you supposed to say? Okay. All right. Now we have to wait. And there's probably some 5,000 gallons of water and some cooling going in to get the proper answer from AI.
While we're waiting, can I just point out how cool it is that we are living in a time where you can be going 80 miles an hour on the freeway while you're fast asleep. Relatively safe.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
No, it's frightening.
It's amazing.
No, it's frightening.
We're living in the future.
Wow, this is provocative radio. Hold on. I hear Nate saying it's frightening.
Yes.
If the car eventually gets to the point, if you trust the car, although there was a recent Tesla that smashed into an old lady's house and killed her.
But they did an audit on that car's software, and it was the accelerator was put all the way down. It was going 78. The self-driving car would not do 78 in a residential zone on its own. It was completely the fault of the person who was driving it. They blamed it on the self-driving.
The one that hit the lady?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Teslas also have a reputation for running into motorcyclists at night.
Oh, here's your motorcycle slant. Pro cycle lobby.
Okay.
And not moving over.
Thanks for stalling for me long enough.
Not moving over when there's a siren behind you.
Okay, stop, everybody. The classic move is to say, no, officer, why did you stop me? Here's the reasons anything you say can be used against you. If you guess correctly, I was probably going too fast. You just made an admission of guilt. Letting the officer state the reason keeps you from incriminating yourself. A few practical tips. Stay calm, visibly. Put your hands on the wheel. Be polite. Don't volunteer any information. You can decline to answer the question beyond identifying yourself. Well, this makes them happy. And most states require you to provide driver's license, registration, insurance. I'd rather not answer the question without a lawyer and a complete legal sentence. Do you know why I stopped you? I'd rather not answer without a lawyer. That would they love when you do that.
Yeah, I'll
one.
definitely let you go.
Yeah, right. That's when you just start to yell out cops' names that you know. Bernasconi, John Bernasconi. Yeah, Bernasconi retired about 8 years ago.
Oh.
Nice try. Yeah, but he's a friend of mine. I don't care. You got to yell out some cop name. It helps. I got to list him if you want him.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
KIRO Newsradio App has the update. Tacoma to Olympia, 50-minute drive. Federal Way to Tacoma at 25 minutes. You're slow approaching South 320th all the way down to the Puyallup River Bridge. Renton to Puyallup on our Valley Freeways, a 40-minute drive. Scattered backups between Renton and Kent. And then we're heavy south of State Route 18. Westbound 18, you're bumper to bumper from the West Valley Highway to I-5. Out toward Tiger Mountain, westbound 18, 2-mile bumper to bumper backup heading up the summit. And out toward Montlake, westbound 520 at Montlake Boulevard, we've got a collision partially blocking that left lane, and you've got a parking lot across the lake right now. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley is now open. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for the 4th at Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley. Open now through July 4th. With over 100 fireworks stands and a variety of food and beverage options, you're sure to get your 4th of July off to a great start at Firecracker Alley. Don't miss the free fireworks show on June 30th. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
If your idea of a perfect weekend includes a trailhead, a ferry ride, or a last-minute escape to the mountains, say hello to the Subaru Crosstrek. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 Subarus in stock. And right now, get the 2026 Crosstrek with 1.9% financing for 36 months on approved credit. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/26.
526.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma City.
And allowing the Trump administration to turn away asylum seekers at the border. The U.S. says an official says there was an attack on a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz that was carried out by an Iranian drone that caused some damage to the ship's bridge. It's the first known vessel attack since the signing of the memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran just last week. This is ABC News. The Florida immigration facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is closing after a year in existence with many complaints. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I don't think you would see us doing this again. This was temporary. This was an emergency measure.
At a Thursday news conference, he said federal Homeland Security did not have resources.
The funding they got last summer had not passed yet, and they were in a situation where they could not keep these people. They didn't know what to do with them. They didn't have the space.
Lawsuits alleged environmental violations, inhumane conditions for detainees, no working bathrooms, insects, and inedible food.
Strong demand for computer memory and storage is turning into higher prices for consumers. Microsoft and Apple both announcing price hikes on consumer products. Microsoft is upping Xbox prices by at least $100, and Apple raising prices of Macintosh computers by more than 15%. That announcement sending Apple shares into a slump on Wall Street. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, Governor Bob Ferguson talks taxes. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
This one brought to you by Seattle Sports. All right, westbound 520 right at Montlake Boulevard at that overpass. We have a collision partially blocking the left lane. So this is in the lane where it already directs you to, where we bottleneck. So you're losing that lane anyway. So it's not much of a blocking issue, but drivers are slowing at the scene, and that's adding to a bumper-to-bumper backup across the lake. Westbound 90 is slow coming out of the Mercer Lid over to I-5. Now, Linwood to Seattle. Seattle on I-5 just hit 1 hour, and it's all because of this parking lot from Northgate Way all the way to I-90. Southbound 99, a great alternate, but it is bumper to bumper from the zoo down to the stadiums. Northbound I-5, we're stop and go from the Michigan Curve into downtown. Southbound 405 starts to slow near Northeast 60th in Kirkland. You're really thick through Bellevue, thinning out after Factoria, but you're not in the clear till you get down to the Renton Landing. North 405, we're stop and go from I-5 and South Center through the Renton S curves, Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. And westbound 18, heading over to Tiger Mountain, a 2-mile bumper-to-bumper backup heading up the summit. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson says his upcoming budget proposal will not include any new taxes. He's telling lawmakers he expects them to follow suit.
Does that mean cuts? Well, of course. Yeah, we're going to be facing in all likelihood a multi-billion-dollar shortfall. So, all we have to do is do that in a way that's thoughtful.
Republican State Senator Judy Warnick tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Ranch she's skeptical about Ferguson's comments.
I'm not positive that he would stick to his guns.
Governor did stop short of promising to veto any tax increase that might come across his desk. 15-year-old boy arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old girl in Kent was back in court this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the latest.
According to court documents, when the teen was arrested for the murder, he had already been arrested on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm and unlawful possession of a machine gun. Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office explains what's next.
In the unlawful possession of a firearm case, he pleaded not guilty. That case is now moving forward in juvenile court. And then in the murder case, prosecutors motion for the murder case to be heard in adult court.
The teen is due back in court on the jurisdiction issue in September. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A pregnant woman is recovering after a dog attack today in Tacoma. Police say it happened this morning not far from the Tacoma Mall when 2 loose dogs, an American Pit Bull Terrier and an American Bully, went after the small dog she was carrying. Woman was taken to the hospital at last check in stable condition, but her dog ran off, had not been found as of this afternoon. Tacoma Animal Control impounded those bigger dogs. A local high school is welcoming home one of Seattle's basketball's biggest names.
Brandon Roy is once again the head coach of Garfield High's boys basketball team. He was fired last year amid allegations of a recruiting violation, but an investigation found no wrongdoing. Roy says he told his kids that they'd have to be patient while that process played out.
People, said a lot of, smear my name in a lot of ways where I just said, hey, look, this is an experience that you guys can learn from and grow from.
Roy, a former NBA All-Star and Garfield High grad, led his alma mater to 3 state titles as head coach. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Forecast now, looking at overcast skies tonight and some showers moving through, increasing rain overnight. Tomorrow looks breezy and wet. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
They're showing us images of Edgar Martinez, who is in the dugout. He's wearing sunglasses.
There we are. Wow. Thank you, Jacob, for that. That's a little bit of Mariners excitement.
Oh my!
Showing us images.
What's the record they're not happy to see?
No, oh boy, struck a nerve. Oh boy, step back, look out. All right.
So they have scored 3 runs or fewer now in 11 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
The only time it's been worse in franchise history was back in 2015. That team had 13 games in a row of 3 runs or fewer.
They're saving it up.
I sure hope so. I got to figure something out. It's bad. They're 41 and 41, 500.
The look on your face is like that you yourself, Aaron, have to come up with a decision. You have to make some sort of move here.
No.
Maybe
It's weird, though, because I actually still have faith. Yeah, it's not weird. I always have faith.
Yes.
That's the life of a Mariner fan, I guess.
That's right. That's where you
They'll be fine. They'll turn it around.
They're right.
Tomorrow.
It's
in
always
Cleveland.
a slump at this point. They're normally kind of crappy at the end of June.
That's right.
There we
Peaks
are.
and valleys. You cannot have, I like to say, you can't have peaks without valleys.
Thank you. There we are.
Right.
Wow,
Long
look at that.
season.
Write that one down. Put that on a mug. All right, diving in. Well, Aaron screwed it all up. Didn't have any music. It seemed fake. Okay. Oh, my. I've eaten at this fine restaurant, the Walrus and the Carpenter. Now, if you were to go there today, you're going to have to go through the back door or side door because there's security that's in place. And you have to kind of come in there because you want to go there and enjoy the fine food, but you don't want to get yelled at or hassled by anybody because right now they are in the middle of a bit of a brouhaha. The workers have formed a union, and they've told the owners of the restaurant that they weren't certain things, and this thing's been going on back and forth. They're trying to come to some sort of resolution so that the people that work there feel as if they're entitled to a job. They're asking for certain things. The owners are saying to them in return, look, things are tight for us, and we have actually been operating at a loss, and we're having some problems because the cost of everything continues to go up, and we want to keep you. We want to satisfy you. They wrote an open letter. And they're right here at this one point. At the same time, we face our own difficult reality. The company operates approximately a 4.5% loss in 2025. That's $787,000. I'm rounding up. That figure does not reflect the principal repayments of the company's approximate $10 million in debt. So when they didn't make ends meet, they went and took a loan. So they have to pay part of that as well, which consumes significant cash and does not appear on the expense of the P&L, right? Because it's a loan outstanding. During the slower months, we borrow money to simply make payroll. Summer revenue helps sustain operations through the rest of the year. So in an open letter, the owners have sent to the members of the union that work at the restaurant, look, here's what's happening. We're laying it out there for you to see. And then they went as far as to even include, was this part of the letter?
Yes.
In the letter, they're like, look, here's how much money you're all making compared to other places so that everybody can see it, because this has become a big stink bomb, not only for the owners, but for everybody else. And they lay it out. Bartender number one works 35 hours, 4.5 days a week. Total income in 2025, $92,165.07. Bartender number two. Now, is this total compensation?
That includes their benefits package, I believe.
Right. So the benefits, again, they throw some health care in there as well.
They have health care, retirement. They've got a
Bartender
phenomenal...
number two works 31 hours. That's 4 days a week. He makes $79,000 or she makes $79,810.37. Cook number one, cook number two, server number one, server number two. How about the dishwasher? Dishwasher, working 35 hours, 5 days a week, coming in at $58,477.77. And then they show you the payments to the owners. These are the people that put the capital up. Renee Erickson is the owner, made $130,000. Jeremy Price, an owner, makes $130,000. Chad Dale, another owner, makes $84,500.
And what this all boils down to, because they were operating at a $700,000 loss last year, $750,000, whatever it was, they switched their business model, like many restaurants in Seattle have, to a service charge based model. So they essentially just add whatever it is.
I think they added 22%.
Yeah, 22% to every bill, and then that gets split amongst everybody. So instead of your traditional, here's your tip, it's just, they said it decreased wages slightly, but this is what we had to do to survive.
Yes.
And that's what they got hung up on. And so they went into this arbitration or whatever you call it when the union was negotiating. And essentially they had come to some sort of agreement. I think it was last Wednesday. And then they the union called back on Friday, I think it was, and said, we changed our minds. This is not a binding agreement. You have to agree to this new deal within 1 hour. the owners were out on Pier 62 for the World Cup, doing a catered event or something like that for the fans, and they couldn't get
back in time.
Yeah, they said they called their lawyers, said, "Hey, call them back, see if you can get us more time, and then we can come back to the table."
Nope.
They wouldn't pick up the phone, and so they started striking immediately. And so it must have been earlier last week because they eventually had to close, I think, for a day. Then they brought in friends and family and
to work.
Yeah, not like traditional scabs, but anybody that could help. So friends and family of the owners came in to work at the restaurant, and the striking workers were screaming at them, spitting at them allegedly, and basically harassing them, so they had to close again.
Yeah.
They've now reopened with the security and the side door entrance, and the strike is ongoing.
Say that over the past 2 days, our security team has documented incidents directed at guests as they arrive at the restaurant, including harassment, name-calling, and spitting. Okay, and then Shama Sawan. All right. Of course, she joined the picket line on Thursday.
You can't keep the people down. You can't keep the people down.
What do we want?
A contract. When do we want it? Now.
Hi everyone, I'm Shama Sawant. I am running as an anti-war, pro-worker revolutionary socialist for the U.S. Congress from the Washington State's 9th Congressional District. I'm out here in Ballard in North Seattle, outside the Walrus and the Carpenter restaurant, alongside the workers of this restaurant who are unionized with the United Creatures of the Sea. And the United Creatures of the Sea are on strike.
Yeah!
Did I mention I'm running for office?
We've been trying to bargain for about 16 months with management, and we've only encountered delays in stalling tactics, and we've had it. This is kind of our last recourse. We're on strike right now to get a contract. That's what we want.
Right. And the Sea Creatures workers have said in their press release that they have suffered reduced hours, lost income, diminished benefits, and ongoing instability. And all of this reminds me of
It reminds me of what?
our fight for the $15 an hour minimum wage, which my office launched when I was on the Seattle
And you know what? You're part of the reason that these restaurants are going out of business.
City Council for a decade. This was where we launched the 15 Now movement in January 2014, right after I took office.
Yeah. I find it, I'm not unsympathetic to people that are in a position where they have a job and they have to pay the bills. Most of us are there. You worked on Monday and they paid you for Monday. This is a speech I got from my father one day. Yep. You worked on Tuesday. Did they pay you for Tuesday? Yeah. And Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, you had paid for all of those days. Yeah. And I said, but. And my father says, they owe you nothing. Nothing. You worked Monday, they paid you Monday. You worked Tuesday, they paid you Tuesday. They owe you nothing. You asked for the job, they gave you the job. They told you what they're going to pay you, you accepted it. That's the deal. And that's the deal here. If you don't like it, get your bag, get your crap, get out. So for these people, you're protesting what? You're protesting the fact that you want more money? They've told you, and maybe they're holding some numbers back or something. Maybe they're not. They could give you their profit and loss statement, but they're operating at a loss. They're trying to get the doors open.
They did share their profit and loss statement.
They showed it to them. So here it is. Is this how much money we have? How much should we have? What do you want the owners to make? Do you want the owners to make less money on the thing? Do you all want to make exactly the same? This is absurd. This reminds me of Hostess Twinkies. So I think there was 18,000 people that went on strike. Remember Hostess? This was in 2012. And the bakers were all mad. And they're going to go on strike, and we're not going to bake any more Hostess ding-dongs or whatever, and we'll show you. Well, what happened was Hostess is like, we're out of business. They close up the place, goes out of business. Some other company comes in, a bigger corporation comes in and buys them all up, and then ends up, of the men or bakers, that I think there were like 8,000 that were left or something, they got replaced by machines. Then they had 1,400 people working there. And then that part of Hostess, which was purchased by another corporation, gets purchased by an even bigger corporation, and there's no union. All of them are out. So they're all marching around. They wanted more money or whatever, and they ended up closing the whole place down, and it was gone. I mean, they burned down their own occupation. They burned down their own jobs by asking for more money. It sucks, and it's hard to be a waiter. I get that. And then a bartender, it's compared to other jobs, it's pretty easy. But if you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's the weirdest thing. You're not guaranteed anything. No one's guaranteed a job. No one. And by marching around out in front of the restaurant and then yelling, as they say, as the owners say, saying things to people and intimidating people and spitting on them. Okay, so what are you hoping to do? So then you don't want the guests to go, let's follow this line of thought. So you're a jerk, you shouldn't eat our oysters. Okay, so the person's like, oh, we better not eat there. So then they go home, and then they stop everybody else from going in because the owners have said the people going into the restaurant has gone down, like they've lost like 20%, not because of the intimidation.
40% since 2024.
Because the cost of stuff is so high because Shama Sawan and the rest suddenly thought everybody should be making more money to serve food. So, they're losing customers. Then these people are driving customers away, right? And then the customers don't go there. So then maybe if they succeed, that no one will go in that night and they won't make any money that night. And they'll have to take all of their food and their waste and their inventory costs will go up. And then maybe the next day we can do the same thing and no one will go in there. And then what? And then what? Then it goes out of business? And then what are you going to do? Why don't you organize, here's an idea, all of you together that are out there marching around, take all the money that you have and start your own restaurant. Go ahead. Go try it. Go find a lease, get it going, get the insurance, then you employ. All of you could pay each other exactly the same amount of money, and you could have like a little socialist utopia, and you could have a little restaurant there, and you could tell everybody that comes in that, oh, we're all getting paid the same amount of money, and we all get along, and this is and we're competing against these horrible capitalists down the street. Go ahead, unionize, and then run your own shop. See how that goes, and see where you get the capital to get started. You're going to have to go to a big bank, or you're going to have to go to some VC, some venture capitalists, or go to some rich guy who's got more money than anybody else and ask that person for a thing called a loan. Oh, no. Will you give us $5 million so we can get the capital improvements so we can start our own restaurant, and we're going to have to pay you interest? Oh, that's wrong. But, hey, now you're in the business, and now you've got employees, now you got expenses, now you've got somebody slips and falls, your insurance goes up, and then somebody's sick, they don't show up, or maybe one of your employees is stealing out of the cash register. Maybe they're stealing from the bartender. Maybe somebody's doing drugs in your bathroom and somebody comes in, the cops come in and there's crap all over the toilets and you have to clean that up and somebody reports you to the Board of Health. Have fun running a restaurant. Have fun running a restaurant and see what it's like operating on 3 and 4% margin. I didn't even feel that. And then have somebody like Shama Sawan come in and say, no, that waiter deserves $24 an hour. And that's the reality of running. Now, this one's going to hurt because it's on my genitals. That's the reality of running a restaurant. That's it. And the guys that own these things, the guys that I know own them, I'm like, you chain yourself to it. You're in there at 7 in the morning. You're out at 1 in the morning. Like 4 or 5 hours sleep. You go back in there and worry about anything. And you're just finding the people that are like not cutting up everything and they're just wasting a bunch of your food. And then we're like in 7 months or 7 years, most restaurants, if they last that long, it's a grind. But no, let's stand out in front and scream because we're not making any more than what's the person make?
$91,000 for bartender
number one. $92,165.
And then
working 35 hours. That makes 50. And this is not just dollars. So this also includes the health care, the 401k, the retirement, the paid time off, the wellness, and the rest of the stuff. That is. Well, let's see what happens. Because these guys own like 3 other restaurants, don't they? I think they've had to close a couple of them.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're getting terrible press over this. Everybody that goes out and covers it is just like, oh, these awful business owners. They're just screwing their employees.
Highly annoyed Washington transplant. What's this one?
I've received reports of restaurant owners misbehaving, so I had to check it out. There is a strike going on behind me. Walrus and Carpenter workers are striking because the owners are not negotiating in good faith after 16 months. And then get this, it gets even worse. The restaurant owners decided to hire scabs to keep the restaurant open. They're actively dissuading customers from going to the restaurant right now. The cause of this was a change in the tip payout structure that happened a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah,
this
why?
is such a short-sighted maneuver by the restaurant owners. Like, you're always going to be known as that restaurant in Ballard that hired scabs. This is a strong union town, a very woke town. very disappointed in the owners of Walrus and Carpenter, or Walrus and the Scab, I should say. And I really hope that they can negotiate with their workers in good faith.
They hired family members because they.
But guys, we're going to negotiate with you. We're operating at a loss, which means every day when we open the store, when we open the restaurant, we lose money. Now, how much more money do you want? Because right now, we're losing money.
$700,000.
We don't have money to give you because we're losing it. Now, what do you want us to do? Oh, and by the way, this guy, Nathan in Seattle. Listen, they have to put some workers in there. Someone, you call them scabs. Somebody has to serve the food to their customers that are coming in, or they'd be losing even more money. Eventually, the people were out there protesting in front of a building that's boarded up that says out of business, and they can march around that thing all day long. And they'll be like, all right, we put them out of business. That's wild stuff.
Wacky stuff.
That's wild and wacky. So the people there at Walrus and the Carpenter.
I guess good for them for putting all their cards on the table. I mean,
86th agreed. No more shucking around. We are the Walrus. Oh, that's good. That's a little Beatles reference there. I like that one. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, down in West Olympia, northbound 101 near Mud Bay Road, fire crews are dousing a brush fire and blocking the lane. You're backed up bumper to bumper to Black Lake Boulevard, about a 2-mile backup here. South 5 heading into Olympia slows at Cabela's there in Lacey in the downtown Olympia. South 5 we're slow. North 5 slows from JBLM through South Tacoma, starting in Murray Road. Here in Seattle, North 5 jams up just before the West Seattle Bridge now in the downtown. South 5, you've got a 7-mile parking lot from Northgate to I-90. You're just barely moving here. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you an hour. Montlake, westbound 520 at Montlake Boulevard, still dealing with a collision, partially blocking that left HOV lane. You're backed up to 85th now, and Bellevue to Seattle is at a half hour. 45 minutes on I-90, and you're packed from Island Crest Way to I-5. Seattle to Everett, 1 hour. Northeast 185th and Shoreline, we've got a crash on your left shoulder, causing traffic to jam up there. North 5 express lanes at 80th, a stall in your right lane, and Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. It's busy out there. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Hundreds of pounds of fireworks caused a major explosion on Whidbey Island. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss reports yesterday's blast injured 5 people, including 3 firefighters.
Firefighters had just arrived, were assessing the situation, getting ready to hook up a hose when that explosion happened. Fire crews spent hours putting out the fire in hot spots. According to the fire chief, there were around 700 pounds of fireworks in the home at the time.
1 firefighter now having hand surgery. The others were treated and released. Explosion also destroyed 2 homes and damaged a 3rd. Federal agents are investigating. Person found dead in one of the homes destroyed in last week's wildfire in Spokane has now been identified.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner says the remains found in one of the 14 burned homes were those of 83-year-old Marilyn Haugen. County Emergency Management Deputy Director Chandra Fox told county commissioners this week that one of the destroyed homes was vacant and was where the fire started.
There was either a squatter or someone in that structure who should not have been.
But Spokane County Fire District 9 says it's still investigating the cause and origin of the upriver fire, which broke out on June 16th and burned more than 200 acres. It is now fully contained. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
World Cup drawing huge crowds to Seattle, but a business owner in the Chinatown International District says it's actually driving away his customers. Vince Vu owns Ennui Bake Shop. He told G and Ursula today match days are some of his worst days.
It kind of breaks my heart a little bit to see so many people on the streets, but to see all these really great legacy businesses that serve locals, to see us all kind of struggling during game days.
He says tourists are being told the CID is dangerous and to stay away. T-Mobile and Wajimaya have a seat at the same table, aiming to create a new economic strategy for Washington. Company executives are among 26 members of a new Economic Development Council created by the governor. Wajimaya CEO Denise Moriguchi is on the council.
We have an opportunity to ensure that Washington remains a place where businesses can put down roots, innovate, expand, and continue to thrive for decades.
The council spends business, labor, tribes, and higher education. Its economic plan is due next June 2027. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
It's a busy commute still this afternoon with some hefty backups across the region, like South 5 heading into Seattle. There's a 7 to 8 mile bumper-to-bumper backup from Northgate Way all the way to I-90 to Linwood to Seattle. A 1 hour commute, that's double the norm. Southbound 99 bumper-to-bumper from the zoo into the downtown tunnel. Now North 5, you're going to jam up just before the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Westbound 520 at Montlake Boulevard still got a collision. It's partially blocking that left HOV lane, and this has created a bumper-to-bumper backup starting prior to 85th now. Bellevue to Seattle is a half hour, 35 minutes now on I-90, and you're packed from East Mercer Way to I-5. Seattle to Everett, 1 hour. Yeah, Northeast 185th and Shoreline. We've got a crash on the left shoulder. It's causing traffic to jam up at the scene, and that bumper-to-bumper backup stretches all the way into Northgate. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. We're solid from Kirkland to Canyon Park. And Bellevue to Renton, heading southbound, a 35-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Get some showers around for tonight and more showers on the way tomorrow. Cloudy skies taking us into the weekend with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
One 888-973-5476. Oh, it's time for the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Now we are going to. Sorry, Teeny, we're going to forego the spinning the wheel. Yeah, Luke Ducey's here. We don't have a whole lot of time. It's Wilcox Family Farm Eggs, the best eggs anywhere around. Of course, we'll have the recipe for you tomorrow. All right. I tell you right off the top, I have not caught. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm immune to it. World Cup fever. I have a.
You don't have it.
No, I have a slight runny nose, but I think it's about something else. So, do you have it? Were you the guy that cares and loves soccer?
Yeah, and I am, and I played since I was a kid all the way up through college, and so I love the game. But I did come into this World Cup thinking it was going to be kind of a disaster. I didn't really think. Well, because it was here in the U.S., I thought politics was going to take over. I didn't think that people were going to. And you know what I found is if you, especially if you go to a place like Pier 62, and you hang out with some of the fans, like yesterday, Bosnia, for instance, they had fans there, and I thought, are they going to do the same as the U.S. team where they marched from the pier? And they did, and they took over the streets, and there were thousands of Bosnian fans in our streets. Bands playing, marching, partying, have a great time. And if you go to those places, you get sucked up into it. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun.
Joe went and he came back and he was shaming me for not being more, embracing it.
Friday was incredible.
U.S. Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that's World Cup on steroids. That's at its best.
And Seattle was couldn't have looked any better.
Okay, stop it, Joe.
I'm just saying.
I got a quick story for you.
Okay,
Way back when, I've been to several World Cups. I went to the last one here in the U.S., which was years and years ago. And Diego Maradona was the big Argentinian soccer star, the number 10. And
he and Pele.
Pele is a big one.
It's the only one I know.
That's good.
Okay.
Maradona is known for the hand of God, where he punched the ball into the net against England in the Mexico World Cup. But then 4 minutes later, everyone forgets that he dribbled through the entire England team to score another goal by himself. Anyways, he's at the stadium, walking out beforehand at Foxborough. Before the game, they like to walk this field and make sure it's okay, even though the field is perfect. And there were about 50 people deep. I was 50 people deep, crowding this one area. And people there's Diego Maradona, is about as tall as that, the stapler on the and people were handing their children down, 50 people down, so he would kiss them and pass the children and babies back up.
Yes.
So Diego Armando Maradona would kiss their child.
But did they also think that he had some magical power because of the legendary hand thing and the ball?
They embraced that. So the British fans they still talk about it today.
I know they do.
The English fans hate it. But the Argentinians, who remember this is also right after the Falklands War as well, they embraced that, and they embraced that as, I don't know the Spanish name for it, but that it's something where they have the grace and the luck on their side, and they used it to their advantage. And the Brits hate that.
So your big concern was that politics would somehow overshadow all this sort of stuff, and it hasn't.
I don't think it has. When you go to the games, no one's talking about. I thought people would make comments about Trump or this or that, or you know, whatever politics, and they don't.
How about on Friday? Don't we have a chance to see possibly politics come in with flag waving,
absolutely,
and pride stuff?
I think it'll be there. You cannot separate it from this match, and we're talking about Iran and Egypt, who have not glorious and actually horrible human rights stances. Their governments do, I should say, when it comes to homosexuality in their countries. In Iran, it's punishable by death. In Egypt, there are a lot of morality laws where they incarcerate people who try to engage in same-sex relationships, etc. Both countries wanted to ban pride flags and any kind of celebration. They wanted the match moved when they got the draw in December, appealed to FIFA. FIFA said no. FIFA has since come out and said, no, pride flags are absolutely accepted at the game. This is a part of the game. It's part of inclusivity. This is what the World Cup is all about. So I don't think the average fan will react because these are government policies, and you might see some clashes. I think, though, that there's going to be this kind of feeling around the situation until it kind of, you get through the first couple minutes of the celebrations outside the stadium before the game. And then I think that everyone would say, okay, we're just here for a soccer match, and that's great, and everything's good.
There is a big, I think it's Egyptians, Moroccans, Turkish. Certainly I know a number of folks that are Turkish that live here. And then also, I don't know as many Egyptians, but I would assume it's a pretty big population that's going to be coming in here for this. So they'll be in the crowd, and Iranians as well. The Persians will be there. I just hope that nobody goes down there. You know, the guy that stands out in front of the Seahawks games and screams and yells with the microphone and they're
down there. They're down there for all the World Cup games too. And they were there yesterday. I was down there, and Qatar was playing, and a lot of men
about Christian stuff there.
These men in their these beautiful white thobs and going into the game, and Muslim, and they were out there yelling something about God doesn't.
He's not big on the Quran.
And Muslims have never repented for their sins or something like that. It was horrible.
So when it's all said and done, all the fears that Seattle had, or people that were saying about Seattle, that one, the place wouldn't be ready, that it would look messy, there would be homeless everywhere, that the businesses would be disappointed, and the hotel rooms were not going to be booked. What do you think? I know it's too early to write the final chapter, but what do you think? How does it turn out Seattle in the World Cup?
I think Seattle is loving the World Cup. I think the world has their eyes on the Emerald City. And the reason I say that is because both The Athletic, the New York Times now, and other huge publications have kind of come out and said, especially after the U.S.-Australia game, that our stadium and our situation and our passion is what the World Cup wants. We are the symbol of what the World Cup should be in every city. And a lot of that has to do with location, that we're right there in the downtown core. And I met half as many people at the U.S.-Australia game that did not have tickets that did. I was surrounded at one point by thousands of Australians singing in unison, "Sweet Caroline." Ba, ba, ba. It was great. It was fantastic. We are the city that is the example for the rest of the continent, because games are played in all three countries.
Luke Ducey will be testing them on Friday because it's supposed to be cold and gray.
Yeah, colder. Well, welcome to Seattle.
All right, I want to talk about the other story you've been following. It was an explosion. The call came in to 911. 911 got the call at 2:45 p.m. A giant explosion, 700 pounds. That's what they're thinking.
Oh, wow.
Was in there, of fireworks that blew up. I looked it up. It was a double-wide home that was built in the year 2000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You could have purchased this before it blew up, March 2025, for $425,000. Now, I'm assuming the price is negotiable.
Well, I've seen a photo, and it's in pieces across the road right now. So that house blew up into a million different pieces. The house next to it caught fire, and that was destroyed completely. There was a third house as well. I tracked down and spoke to a woman named Tanya this morning. She was driving home at the time that she let her 5 dogs out. She looked up, and oh my gosh, my house is on fire. She found out the firefighters rescued her 5 dogs. They're at a vet. They're doing fine. They're breathing fine now. But then I asked her, okay, what do you think caused this? Any clues? Didn't hesitate. She immediately said this.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year. They brought it in over to Ocean Pass in a semi truck, and he wanted to offload it on our property. said no. There was a pallet in the middle of the street. I guess yesterday he had, I think, 3 or 4 delivered.
So this is her neighbor, she's saying, who has had truckloads, semi-truckloads, and pallets of fireworks delivered, 700 pounds. Wow. ATF was out there this morning because there was unexploded ordnance, and that obviously that's going to be fireworks that they had to take care of as well and investigate. Don't know the official cause, but it's a lot of fireworks.
Was her house damaged at all?
Burned, yeah.
Just burned.
A little bit. She's going to be fine, but she also runs a pantry, a food pantry out of her home as well, and it's been a really difficult time for her.
We're devastated by this. We can't get back into our home. We just had a flood on Mother's Day, and we have a lot going on right now.
Luckily for her, the dogs are okay. The fire was put out at her house, and hopefully she's able to get back up on her feet and be celebrate 4th of July. As far as the home is not there. And it's illegal, by the way. I looked up in Whidbey Island how many fireworks you're allowed to buy and how many you're allowed to store. And I guess that's the reason, because it blows up the entire home.
Yeah, and a lot of people online now are asking me, and in my comments in my story, I hope this neighbor has insurance. And does insurance cover something like this?
I'm going to guess no on a double wide manufactured home. I'm going to say no.
Where do you store that many fireworks? Are there rules? I don't even.
Was it 2-bedroom, 2-bath? Plus, they also had a den attached.
Well, I'm looking into, is that adequate enough? What do the rules say? I'm still looking at that as well. I should say, though, 3 firefighters were hurt. I mean, they literally got off their truck and kaboom, they had blast injuries.
Yeah.
We don't know what those exactly were, but they are in stable condition, so they're going to be okay. Thank goodness.
Luke, thanks for coming by. Certainly appreciate it. Nate's in there. Taking a look at traffic for us. Nathan.
All righty then. JBLM, we've got a new collision, North 5 at the main gate, and it's a big one. It has your 3 right general purpose lanes blocked, and right now, even your HOV lane is blocked as troopers are working on kind of clearing this out of your way. Here in Seattle, South 5, we've got a 7-mile parking lot from North Gate to I-90. It's a 1-hour commute from Linwood into downtown. Southbound 99, get over there. Great option to get through this, but it is bumper to bumper from the zoo into the downtown tunnel. North 5 jams up just before the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Over to Montlake, where we just cleared a collision westbound 520 right at Montlake Boulevard. But it was there long enough to create a bumper-to-bumper backup starting now closer to 94th. Bellevue to Seattle is a half-hour drive, 35 minutes on I-90, and you're packed from East Mercer Way all the way to I-5. Now, Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett, both 55-minute commutes. I-5 is heavy from Northgate all the way into Mill Creek. 405 is solid from Kirkland up into Canyon Park. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Nick, what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Big's killer whale stole the show this week with several families gathering for an epic tea party. Naturalists watched the T-65As and T-64Bs speeding in to meet up with the T-46B family, erupting into breaches, spy hops, and nonstop socializing. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, crews even dropped the hydrophone to listen in as the orcas vocalized. Elsewhere, the T-125As, T-100s, and T-124As cruised the waters too. Unforgettable moments for everyone aboard. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for advance here. All right, Teeny, I believe we're gonna sing a song. Who's gonna sing?
Make it quick.
Okay, make a quick one. Quick version of it. All
Nice.
right. Okay, here we go. All right, we'll get the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest.
Dennis in Seattle says, Joseph, is John going to paint some more pictures for me again today? I sure hope so.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will. Robert in the 206 says, bring Sherry back. Yes. Yes, I agree.
Almost Sherry. 425 says there's a hole in the sky where the tree once was, and somebody's making money. Thanks, John. I can't get that out of my head now.
Well, we could sing it again for you, but we're not going to do that to you. Jeff from the 206. Hey, John. Wife just asked how the pumpkin is. Kevin, the crazy pumpkin guy, had to make an emergency trip out to the barn.
When?
4 days ago.
What?
Just to look at it, and then he gave me new advice. He says he's disappointed in
you?
In the pumpkin. It's coming along, but it's not where it should be. But thanks for the letter, Jeff.
253 says, hey, John, what's happening with Katie's 75 tiny homes? Are they full? How did they pick who got one? How's the program going?
So many questions.
Dig into that for tomorrow.
Tom in Everett says, hey, John, it's Froggy went a courtin' and he did ride, not fine. You're right. And we got the lyrics from Bob Dylan, and you're right. Froggy went a courtin' and he did ride. Froggy went a courtin' and he did ride. Froggy went a courtin' and he did ride. Yes, you're right.
It gets very weird.
It's a weird song.
The new old man John says Froggy went a courtin' with a pistol because all the females out there are insane.
Okay. Mike in Portland says, John, your impression of PJ kids has never been more accurate. I think this may be the single most accurate thing you've ever said in your entire life. I was watching a nature documentary on entitled kids.
That was pretty good. Give me just a little taste of that.
Who do you want? You want PJ?
Yeah. PJ would like it. The food's not good.
Mom, I want some. This pizza. This isn't Caesar's. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you? Is your Xbox? Just get out of my room, Mom. Okay. Just get out. I can't stand you right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead, Joe. Is Joe going to read now? Joe, do you want some pizza?
I would love some.
Joe's a jerk. Get out of my room.
A Biscuit from Everett says, I'm several days late this week, but last week Curly read a letter from Hee Haw Aaron that contained the word donkey. He pronounced it as donkey. I thought he called them dunkeys. What's going on here? What's next? We find out Sherry has normal sized hands.
It's a Philadelphia regionalism.
Donkey. Okay.
Donkey. James in Jamestown, Eastlake says, is this something where a penguin is having their actions dubbed by a tiny human? What the hell's that?
I hope you
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Something where a penguin is having their actions. I don't know what the hell that is. That's some secret code.
Clearly meant for our show, then.
Yes, I guess.
This comes to us from the real Tin Hat Jason. He says, LOL, I just called the Lower Tavern on Orcas Island. The woman who I talked to seemed unamused by the questions. As to, have you seen any tall Nordic aliens? She replied, yes, we've all seen the meme, and no, we haven't seen any aliens.
Okay, so it's not the Lower Tavern.
No.
All right. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Couldn't write no more. Do I get to do another one?
Oh,
she left the bloomer hanging round my front door.
There we go. And Nate checking traffic for us, Nathan.
Yeah, JBLM, North 5 at the main gate. All lanes are back open. State Patrol is able to quickly clear this out of your way. You're backed up to Stillicum DuPont. South 5 slows from Lacey into downtown Olympia. West Olympia, northbound 101 on Mud Bay Road. Fire crews are still on scene working this brush fire. So you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup approaching Black Lake Boulevard. Close to a 3-mile backup here. Back to Seattle, where we are struggling South 5. An 8-mile bumper-to-bumper backup now stretching from 130th in Northgate down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle still taking you a solid hour. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. You're bumper-to-bumper from 520 through Factoria. And then you're going to clear out pretty quickly. And then North 405 in the south end, we're slow from South Center through those S-curves. South Center to Bellevue, 25 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.